The materials we're going to use in this lab are a large petri dish, a birthday candle, matches, a beaker filled with water, a graduated cylinder, a little bit of food dye, and a wax pencil. In the space provided in your lab, you'll draw what the setup will look like. This is what the setup will look like. Please pause your video now to draw it in the space provided. So we have this test tube here that's filled with air. We need to start by determining the volume of air that can fit in the test tube. In order to do this, we're going to fill up the test tube to the very top with water. Once it's at the very top, we're going to take the water that's in the test tube, pour it into the graduated cylinder. You'll read the graduated cylinder to determine the volume of air. Your measurement is the volume of air that the test tube can hold. Pause the video to record the volume in the appropriate place on your data table and then resume the video. Now we need to determine the volume of air in the test tube after a candle burns all of the oxygen out of it. The candle flame will burn the oxygen in the air and create a vacuum. As the candle burns up the oxygen, there's going to be less pressure in the test tube and more pressure on the outside of the test tube. Water will be drawn up into the test tube to even out the pressure caused by the missing oxygen. Once there's no oxygen left to burn, the candle will go out. The amount of water that was drawn up into the test tube should equal the amount of oxygen that was in the air. Now I'll use the wax pencil to draw a line at the water level. Remove the test tube and fill it with water up to the line. Then I'll pour that water into the 10 milliliter graduated cylinder. Your measurement is the volume of air in the test tube after the candle goes out. Pause the video to record the volume in the appropriate place on your data table and then resume the video. To determine the volume of oxygen, take the volume of air in the test tube after the candle goes out and subtract that from the volume of the air in the test tube at the start. Please pause your video now while you do that calculation. To determine the percentage of oxygen in the air, take the volume of oxygen in the test tube, divide it by the total volume of air in the test tube at the start, and then multiply that by 100. Please pause the video now and put your result in the space provided.
Now that you have all your data, please answer the questions on the bottom of your lab.